everybody, and welcome to Transparent Tuesday. I'm your host, author, inspirational speaker, life coach, Frances Dupree. I hope that everyone enjoyed their Christmas week and are looking forward to the new year. I just want to thank you to everyone that helps me out with blessing a family for Christmas. It's always a blessing when you're able to be a blessing. I wanted to remind you guys, I know it's the holiday season. Make sure you get a copy of Marrying Outside of God's Will. It may not be for everybody, it may not be for you, but some parts of my testimony may be able to help somebody else. So, like I said, it's always a blessing to be a blessing. Well, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you. This is Transparent Tuesday. Tonight's title is, I believe I titled it When You Don't Want to. Anywho, but let's get transparent. So all day I've been like, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't have a topic. God didn't give me anything. I'm fighting my own battles right now. And emotionally, it's a push. And I just don't want to. But I know I have an obligation to the audience of Transparent Tuesday. I know I have an obligation to God's people. So despite what I may be feeling or what I may be going through, I still have to fulfill my obligation. My sister, she wrote a book, Evangelist Danielle Williams McCord, Preaching in Pain. Make sure you get a copy of that. Even if you're not in the front line of ministry, but you still do God's will and you still have some way into the ministry that you're doing, get a copy of that book because I'm still waiting on mine. I want to beat up the mailman. But it gives you her in depth of preaching in pain. When you really, really decide, all right, I'm going to do right with God. I've been praying more. I think I'm fasting more now than I've ever fasted before. I've always been a tither, but I'm like consistently tithing, which is something that I've always tithed, but sometimes I didn't, and then I would, and then I wouldn't. But now I'm like consistently doing everything that God is telling me to do. And of course, when you decide you're going to walk with God, no matter what, you put a target on your head. But then, sometimes when you're just getting your feet wet, sometimes you're still just lukewarm. But when you're really, really praying like you're supposed to, fasting like you're supposed to, tithing like you're supposed to, sharing your testimony, trying to empower others. I have this thing with women about empowering and equipping them because I've been through so much in my life. I feel like I have an obligation to share my testimony to help. So people know if he did it for me, he can do it for you. He's not a perspective of a person. But there comes those times when you're fighting your own battles. Your emotions are all over the place and you just don't want to. It's hard for yourself to look in the mirror. It's hard for you to get out the bed. You're praying, but all you can say is Jesus, or all you can say is God. You're faithfully tithing, you're faithfully fasting. And if God can't get to you directly, he's going to attack those around you. And it's hurtful and it's sad when you see those around you being attacked and you try to warn them like, hey, this is what's going on. And they don't listen. And they just keep playing with the fire. And it's like, why are you so hard-headed? Why aren't you listening to me? But then you have to think back on yourself. When you were getting those warnings, did you listen? When you were being told that you was playing with fire, did you listen? As I'm telling you this, God is ministering to me because I just did not have it in me to come on here today. And I'm being very transparent with you guys. My emotions are all over the place. But because I'm a child of God, because I've been through the fire, I've been through the trials, I've been through the trials, the tribulations, and I'm still going through. My obligation, this platform that God has given me, still must go forth no matter what I'm going through. See, that's the thing. Transparent Tuesday was created to be a safe place so people, women, men, young women, young men can know, number one, you're not the only one that's going through something, right? Some it's mental health issues, suicide, depression, poverty, homelessness, sexual abuse, a domestic violence relationship, poverty, whatever your issue may be, you're not alone. And then from time to time, I bring guests on and they talk about their testimony, or they share their tribulations, or they share what they're fighting with at the moment. Whatever their testimony may be, of course the enemy wants to tear this down because it's a safe place for people to get healing. Sometimes it takes you to know that you're not alone. Sometimes it takes you to talk about it, to write about it, and you're able to start the steps of healing. So, of course, because I'm trying to help others heal, and this is very dear and close to my heart because of the things that I've been through and I've battled with, even stemming from a child. My battles started when I was a kid, actually at 7 years old. And, when God lifts you up and he brings you to another level and you're getting closer with him, and you're really like, all right, God, we really finna do this. I don't got time to be playing no games. Of course, you're a threat to the enemy because number one, the enemy can't use you anymore. And number two, now you're going to start saving souls. So that means you're taking people from him. So yeah, you're going to be tested. You're not always going to feel like you want to do this. You're not going to always want to preach or tell your testimony or whatever engagements that you may have. But at the end of the day, it still has to be done. At the end of the day, the battle still has to be fought. At the end of the day, you still have to show the enemy, even though you're testing me and you're trying me and I'm crying and I'm praying and I may not see the results immediately right now, I'm not going to give up. It's a lot of people going through something right now, right? We already live in a world that's just falling apart. Let's just be real. God's coming soon, sooner than we think. We don't know the day, the time, or the exact hour, but we do know that he is coming. So that's a battle in itself. Some are already, unemployment's acting up. Trump signed the bill late. Like, it's just a lot going on in the natural. But then you bring the spirit into with the natural. So not are you naturally fighting a battle, but now you're spiritually fighting a battle because you're like, you know what? I'm not going to hell. My kids are not going to hell. Anyone connected to me is not going to my hell. No one is going to hell if I have anything to do with it. So of course the enemy is going to come and he's going to attack you. And the thing about it is, I've heard a lot of people say, you get attacked at a familiar place. And I could be wrong. And, God, please correct me if I am wrong because I never want to get on here and say something that's not true. But my personal opinion is you keep getting attacked in the same place because you haven't beat that attack. You haven't rose to the occasion. You haven't overcame it. Once you overcome one thing, then the enemy has to go right back to the drawing board and he has to find a different way to attack you. But if you're still keep falling for the same tricks and you keep stumping your toe on the same rock, he's going to keep throwing the same thing at you. But once he realizes, okay, I've thrown this at this person and they're not falling for it anymore. They're not getting mad anymore. They're not exploding anymore. Their money's running out, but they're not doing tricks and scams anymore. They're not blowing up and fighting or breaking things or running away. They're standing right there. They're dealing with the problem and they're getting through it. That's the thing, is no matter what we're going through, no matter what our test or our tribulation may be, God is going to get us through. We want to go over. We want to avoid it because we don't want to feel the pain. When right now, I know I'm in the waiting room, right? God has me going through something and it's very, very painful. It's hard. I don't want to go through it, but I have to go through it. I have to get through it so I can look back and be like, dang, God, look at what you brought me through again. Because we've all been going through something for years, right? If you can remember, but he's always gotten us through. He's always made a way. When you felt like you're at that breaking point and you couldn't take it no more, that's when he steps in and he makes a way. That's when the ram in the bush is coming. But nobody wants to wait. Nobody wants to suffer through the pain while he perfects whatever that thing may be. Nobody wants to be stretched out so you can come out shining like gold and be that person that he has made you to be. We all have a calling on our life. We all have a purpose. We all have an assignment, but we have to go through things in order to complete that assignment. We have to be stretched. We have to be molded. We're praying for things, but are you ready? Are you in position for that thing that you're praying for? Is your lifestyle ready for that thing that you're praying for? Are you going to handle that thing that you're praying for appropriately? If not, you have to go through the stretching. You have to go through the molding. You have to go through the process. I'm in the process. It don't feel good. I don't like it. It hurts. I cry. I pray. I fast. I tithe. And I'm like, God, I know you're going to come through. I don't know when. It's not my time and it's yours. It's yours will be done. But I have to go through it. I have to stick in the fight. I have to be a good soldier. So that's why I'm here, still having Transparent Tuesday go forth, because it's not about me. It's about those that are watching right now. And what I'm saying is probably ministering to you as it's ministering to me. As I'm telling you guys what I'm saying right now, God is directly saying it to me. And I'm motivating myself. Souls is what's important. Certain souls are assigned to us. When you have platforms, when you've written books, when you've told your testimony, when God has gotten you through, you have a responsibility to go back and to help others and to encourage them and to let them know you can get through. You're not alone. This is not a battle that you're fighting by yourself. And another thing that we have to remember is it's not our battles. It's not for us to fight them by ourselves. We have to include God in the fighting, because when we include him, we automatically have the victory, no matter how long the process takes, no matter how long it takes you to actually get through the situation and get to that next, to get to the next, because there's always a next. No matter how the next may be, you have to get through the process, through the waiting room, through the hurt, through the pain, through the crying, through the not giving up, to get to the next. Because when you get to that next, it's worth everything that you went through to get it. It's like our children. If we just give them what they want and they don't have to earn it, they're not going to appreciate it. It might get broken, it may get mishandled, they might not be mature enough to have it at the moment. But when they earn it, right, and they get that thing that they want, whatever it may be, they're going to appreciate it even more, because it wasn't just given to them. My next after this situation, I'm going to appreciate it because of the crying, the tears, the tithing, the fasting, the praying. I'm going to appreciate it because I brought God in it. He got me through, not over, not around, but he got me through. So my next, I'm going to appreciate it because I fought for that. I didn't give up. I didn't let the enemy win. I didn't cave. I didn't go and do like I used to do. I didn't cut myself. I didn't try to kill myself. I didn't try to do anything crazy. I didn't snap. I didn't explode. I was just like, God, you know better than me. I don't like this thing. I don't like this situation. I don't like this feeling. But I'm going to be me. I'm going to be the woman of God that you have me as right now. I know that I'm still under construction. I know that I'm still learning. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to cave. I'm not going to be that weak, timid Frances that I used to be. I'm not going to be taken advantage of. I'm going to stand my ground, and I'm going to get through it with God, with me, holding my hand throughout the whole situation. And if he tell me to go right, I'm going to go left, right. And if you tell me to go left, I'm going to go left. If God says go up, I'm going to go up. And if God says go down, I'm going to go down. If he says be quiet, I'm going to be quiet. Because sometimes God is perfecting what we're going through, and we can open our mouths and make the situation worse, or we can get in the way. And then he got to remove us to deal with that thing. And the process is longer. So you got to trust the process. Know that there's a next, and don't give up. When you don't want to, that's when you got to push. This is a push for me because I didn't want to. It's Transparent Tuesday, so I'm just going to be transparent with you guys. I did not want to log on here tonight, but it's necessary. I'm reaching somebody. Somebody needs to hear what I have to say right now. And it's important to not give up, to not give in, and especially don't abandon your assignment because of what you're going through. You never know, because you pushed through and you still fulfilled your assignment and you still stepped up to your obligation. God might take care of that thing right then and there. Or you may still go through that thing. But being able to bless somebody and minister to somebody while you're going through, if you don't see the blessing in that, I don't know what the point is. I'm blessed that I'm able to sit right here and talk to you guys tonight. It's a blessing to me. It's making my heart happy. It's making my soul smile. You guys have a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you guys Transparent Tuesday next week. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notifications on Facebook and on YouTube, because you never know which topic may transform your life. Peace and blessings.